Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Aaron. Welcome back to Rumble Wrestling TV. What a hot start we got for you here. Now, wait a minute. Speaking of a hot start, we're scheduled to have Richie Stevens versus Leland Bryant.
To the ring by his elder brother, the Rumble lightweight champion himself, Nino Bryant.
And Nino Bryant.
Rumble proudly presents the young star who at just 16 years of age is the youngest wrestler with a full wrestling license in the country. In fact, he's studying and he's just completed his GCSEs. Will you please welcome Leland Bryant?
Well, thank you to the magnificent Lee Bamber, who is the compare for this evening here at the fabulous, famous Spotlight.
One fall to the side.
One fall to the side indeed. And here we go, Richie Stevens versus Leland Bryant. And Richie Stevens, as I was trying to say earlier, again a Pearl Harboring on Leland Bryant early doors before he even completed his entrance. And now Leland Bryant up and over the top with the arm drag takes down the SOS graduate, Richie Stevens. One-on-one matchup, one fall, one submission or one knockout to determine a winner. Referee Matt Wilson in charge of this one-on-one contest. And now Leland Bryant picks up a head of steam and is looking to give Richie Stevens a bit of his own medicine after that cheeky little attack early doors. You might notice as well, of course, the Mel Mason British lightweight champion Nino Bryant at ringside to support his youngest brother. Just 16 years of age, the youngest professional wrestler with a full-time wrestling license, Leland Bryant, already becoming truly one of the very best wrestlers you could honestly expect to see, and obviously keeping up the magnificent lineage of the Bryant brothers as well. 3 young brothers, all with an astonishing aptitude for professional wrestling, as Leland Bryant gives chase to Richie Stevens, who gets caught there coming in. Richie Stevens, well, frankly, had a real change of heart over the past few months. Seemed to be on the right track, doing things the right way, but something has snapped in Richie Stevens as of late. He's got a really nasty attitude. Leland Bryant is asking him, what the hell is your problem, essentially, and Richie Stevens is offering his hand. Not sure how genuine that is. Just saying, you know what, okay, maybe we got off on the wrong foot here. Let's start again. Personally, I wouldn't be believing any of that nonsense from Richie Stevens in this one-on-one matchup. There's the handshake right there, and Richie Stevens seems to be begging off a little bit, and I think Leland Bryant recognised that Richie Stevens was probably going to get a cheap shot and decided, you know what, discretion is the better part of valour. I'm going to get in there first. Back elbow catches Richie Stevens coming in. Flush in the corner, and now Leland Bryant, that's where the inexperience comes into play. Ascended to the top rope, but took a little bit too long working out what he wanted to do, and Richie Stevens took full advantage of that, knocking him off the ropes, causing an imbalance. And Nino Bryant at ringside playing cheerleader. Big snap suplex with the float over into the pin by Richie Stevens, 2 count only. There he is, the Mel Mason British lightweight champion Nino Bryant, watching on, ever supportive of his youngest brother Leland. Now Leland Bryant trying to muster a little bit of offense, and he's cut off in the pass once again. And one thing I have to say about the student of the game himself, Richie Stevens, very technically sound. Running back elbow catches Leland in the middle of the ring. And notice the ring positioning, dead center, deep cover. Richie Stevens has been trained extremely well in the art of professional wrestling at the SOS Academy. And we obviously thank our magnificent friends at SOS for not only bringing an arsenal of talent in their own right to invade the spotlight here at Rumble Wrestling Promotions this evening, also providing ring crew. Richie Stevens obviously will know this ring like the back of his hand, and it's interesting to see whether that might play into the hands of the SOS talent this evening, because ultimately this ring is a little bit different from the Rumble Wrestling Promotions ring, a little bit bigger as well, and so no doubt they will have a home field advantage in terms of the canvas itself, but whether the vaunted lights of the infamous spotlight are going to be a bit too much for some of these talents. It will be seen in the near future, because some of these talents, of course, have never wrestled here in the spotlight before. Famous World of Sport venue. So many of the all-time great legends have wrestled in this building, and now the next generation of talent from Rumble Wrestling Promotions are doing their thing here in this beautiful venue. Just a couple of hours down the road right now, Rumble Wrestling Promotions is also rocking things in Dartford. Just like Richie Stevens just rocked Leland Bryant's neck into that top turnbuckle with that vicious Irish whip. Such is the depth of the incredible roster of Rumble Wrestling Promotions. We're able to put on 2 shows simultaneously this evening, but you lucky folks at home get the spotlight. That's the real draw here on Rumble Wrestling TV. Scoop slam from Richie Stevens to Leland Bryant, and now administers a simple but effective elbow drop. And Richie Stevens not used to having such a height and weight advantage in a matchup. I'm not saying he's a small man by any means, but normally in the land of the Giants, Richie Stevens would be the small fish, but right now he feels like he's in the land of the Giants. Leland Bryant at just 16 years old, also one of the smallest members of the Rumble Wrestling roster. Irish whip counter once again by Richie Stevens, and again a back elbow. Now this match isn't traditional 2 out of 3 falls, it is 1 fall to a finish, which means 1 fall, 1 submission or a knockout to determine a winner. Or should Matt Wilson choose to use his discretion as an official, potentially a disqualification. We hope it doesn't come to that. Chinlock applied by Richie Stevens. Looking to slowly wear down the momentum. Very smart to ground the Bryant brother, because we know just how dangerous they are when they take to the air, when they build up speed. Prime athletes in the professional wrestling game. And Leland able to shrug off Richie Stevens for a moment, but Richie Stevens reapplies that rear chinlock. And Bryant looking understandably quite perplexed, quite nervous at ringside. And that's very smart by Leland Bryant for such a young age, chopping down the leg there, giving him leverage so he can apply a headlock of his own. And now, oh man, he just runs right into Richie Stevens' headbutt there. As this has to be said, Richie Stevens in world-class condition. He's always been in magnificent shape, but man, is he trimmed up and is he bulked out for this occasion, especially since we saw him last time out in Kemsley a number of months ago during our Christmas tour. And now, oh, look out. Oh, look below half Stevens there, and a roll up, and oh man, Leland Bryant almost got him with a sunset flip, and Richie Stevens cut him off at the pass. And any kind of momentum Leland Bryant was hoping to build has just been cut off at the pass once again by Richie Stevens. Short arm clothesline. Nothing fancy about that offense. We're used to seeing a lot of technical prowess from Richie Stevens, but with this attitude turn, I've noticed quite a lot more nasty tactics. Not necessarily bending the rules, but most definitely veering towards a nasty attitude in the way he delivers his blows. You see it right there with that knee to the middle of the back, trying to mess up the core strength of young Leland Bryant. Leland Bryant trying to find some separation. Richie Stevens ducks off, beautiful. Leland ducked in return and hit him with a lovely enziguri. And that's what Leland Bryant can do. He can hit you out of absolutely nowhere with a stunning array of moves. And now a shotgun drop kick into the corner from Leland Bryant sends Richie Stevens crashing back. And there we go, those patented short-range drop kicks, using the ropes as well and that lack of distance to create more damage. The body has nowhere to go, and Richie Stevens finds himself on his back for the first time in this matchup, really. And now beautiful standing shooting star press. There's the athleticism we were talking about. 2 count only. And referee Matt Wilson. This is the first time that we've had any kind of consistent issue in terms of, well, at least as far as Richie Stevens is concerned, he looks to be in serious trouble right now. Leland Bryant is building momentum. Nino Bryant recognises that on the outside, but a jawbreaker catches him flush. Knots up the arm, looking for a Northern Light suplex. Stunning technique, as you'd expect from the student of the game. But Leland Bryant able to escape, but now floats right over and into a single-legged Boston Crab. A half crab applied by Richie Stevens. The student of the game living up to his moniker. And 16-year-old Leland Bryant being torqued and damaged and stretched at the hands of the manipulative means of Richie Stevens. Referee Matt Wilson in perfect position. You see Nino Bryant there trying to catch the eye line of Leland, trying to give him some inspiration to not give in, and that's exactly what he's done. He's able to roll through and create some separation. Simple but effective offense with that kick and a vicious knee to the midsection. Once again, catches Leland Bryant flush, a clubbing blow to the back as well. I mentioned that mean streak of Richie Stevens. It is really coming into effect right now. Richie Stevens with the Irish whip, countered by Leland. Counter once again by Stevens, sends him back up and over and lands on his feet on the apron. Catches Richie Stevens coming in, does Leland Bryant. Now he's going to ascend to the top rope. Last time he got caught out. This time he seems to have the measure of things. Perched on the top rope, measures Richie Stevens, goes up, and a beautiful flying crossbody with the pin. Huge collision in the middle of the ring. And Leland Bryant, just like that, has beaten Richie Stevens in our opener here at the Spotlight in a stunning 1-fall to a finish contest.
Ladies and gentlemen, 1 fall required for victory, and that was it. The